Alles. Das Herz voller Ideen, das Konto voller Geld. Ich hab Lust auf 1000 Sachen, sag an, was kostet die Welt. Feier in die Augen, pumperlis und naiv, vor nix und niemand Angst, schon gar nicht vor dem Tief. Voller Kraft im Leben, 3 Stunden Schlaf sind genug. Kein Blödsinn, den ich auslass, ich lass jeden Fehler zu. Ich glaub an das, was in mir ist, ja nicht auf ein gescheites Reden. Meine Gänsehaut sagt, wohin mir das volle Leben geht. Ich glaub an mich, an meine größte Kraft. Ich glaub an mich, dass ich alles schaffe. I really don't know who I am. My name is Tom Beck, and I'm a man and father and musician and coach.
So, what are you doing as a man, father, musician, coach?
I think the main thing is that I'm living my life. I'm living my life, and since 44 years I try to stop doing the things I don't like and focus on the things I really like, the things I love. And I think I don't have to focus on the things I love, because the only thing I have to do is stop doing the things I don't like, the boring things, the painful things, the not easygoing things. And if I stop these things, doing these things, there's so much space for my heart projects that I can't stop them.
So what are your heart projects?
Music. At the moment, music. There are some different projects, but my biggest heart project is bringing my Botschaft, my core promise. My message. Bringing my message from coaching and talking to people and listening to people, bringing it into music and show programs. So my main project is singing for change.
Singing for change, okay. What was your childhood dream, Tom?
Childhood dream? There were many dreams, but the most important dream in me was being a rock star.
Is it?
Yes, it always was during the hard times of school, and this, I felt it like slavery school time. Yes, my biggest dream was singing me into my freedom. So I always had it in my head and in my heart during sitting in the school. I always was dreaming about being on stages, on the biggest stages of the world, and singing to the people.
So did you start immediately to develop this dream? What else did you do?
I stopped developing this dream very early, because I was listening to all these grown-ups and these very serious people. They told me I have to learn something serious first, and I think I'm not alone with this problem in the world. So I made a higher technical school for machine building, and I was a salesman, and made statics for steel constructions, and I think I became more and more boring.
So till what point you became more and more boring?
It was not only a point, I think it was a line. It was a long line, that there were some points in my life which look like a line. If I look back, there were many points where it was not possible not to see that something goes wrong. One point was drinking much too much alcohol, in the evening after every work, selling excavators somewhere in Austria. I had to drink lots of alcohol afterwards and during I did it. So someday my wife, now my ex-wife, said she thinks that's not the best way, and I saw it. It was a problem. Or I became really deeply unhappy because I sold so many machines as a salesman, but I became more and more unhappy with every machine, and I had troubles with my boss because I wanted to bring out my ideas, and he said, "No, do it the way I told you, sell more." So, and so on and so on. And then 15 years ago, I broke up with working as an employed, and I started to work independent as a consultant and coach. And I made the same mistakes as before, but I made it independent. and mistake by mistake by mistake, I stopped doing, as I said before, I stopped doing the things I don't like. And in the end, but there was the point. I was driving with my sons, driving by car, and talking to them, and they knew about my songs. I was composing. I'm composing since I'm 12 years old, so I never stopped it. But I didn't go to the stages. And they said, "Daddy, why don't you record a CD? You have to make a new album. You have to make your first album." And I said, "Boys, forget it. I'm too old. This dream has gone." And one of them said, "Daddy, you're so boring." This is boring. And this was the second where I said, "Boys, never again call me boring." And I called my friend who became a professional musician, a friend from school, Thomas Morat. Yes, and we recorded the first album, and these days we promote, and we have the rollout of the second album already, and a book.
What kind of book?
It's a book, I think it's a very simple book. In the end of the day, it looks like too simple. It's just 68 messages, core messages, and this book, it's a book about, it's called Alles in die größte Kraft in German. In English, it means like a command, say, everything into the biggest power, now do it. Into the biggest power, don't discuss, don't hesitate, into the power, into the biggest power. This is the topic of the book, and the process was funny because together with a good friend of mine, Gabi Rabel, we traveled through Crete to Crete. In Greece. It was very important to make it in Greece, also because of this big chance they have now, yes. And 14 days, discussions, interviews, I think 33 interviews were taken by Gabi, and she was very brave, very, very brave. And I told her everything about my ideas and my life and all my knowledge and not knowledge, all my questions about this one question: how can we come into our biggest power? And with biggest power, I mean our power of calling, this one thing why we are here. Yes, and then we have 300 pages of texts and very, very clever things written down. In the end of the day, we recognize that it could be the strongest thing to just pick out the most focused, the most hottest points in this manuscript. And these were 68. I don't know why, but I'm born in 1968. But it was not the plan.
So, the message from the book is for whom?
It's really, I think it has to be a bestseller because it's really for everyone, also for animals. And for buildings, and for regions, and for football clubs, soccer clubs, for politicians, and for parties, and for, I think especially for companies, and for grandfathers and mothers and parents. I think it's very special for parents and for children.
Do you have a recommendation for guys who are at school right now, dreaming of the same stuff like you dreamed at that time, like being a rock star, and then starting with your classical career? Do you have a recommendation? A shortcut, most probably?
I have to have a recommendation. I wrote a whole song about this. It's a song about what would I want to give to the next to the young generation. It's called My Bur, so my sons, telling my sons what they should do or not do. The recommendation is buy my book, buy my music. Don't share it for free. Tell your friends they should also buy it, because we need the money for doing good things with Stream Academy and so on. No, honestly, this is one thing I would. Don't believe the grown-ups. They know too much. Don't believe this boring old man like me. But don't believe what they say, but ask them holes into the stomach. This is one part in the song. Ask holes in our stomachs, ask us as much as you can, but don't believe us. And believe this one of the main feelings you have is joy. Believe the joy in you. And if you feel joy in whatever you're doing, if there's joy, pure joy, it's like the sign to heaven. Follow the sign of joy, and it does not have to hurt and something like this. It doesn't have to be complicated, and believe yourself that the things you're really, really made for are the things which come very, very easy to you. It's logic, because the things you are very, very good in are so easy to you, and this is not negative. This is the sign that it's the right way. If it's easy. Don't have to be heavy and painful and hard. It's a mistake if the grown-ups tell you work has to be hard, the career has to be painful, and you have to fight. No, take the easy way.
So, what was the most touching question for yourself?
Today?
No, not today. In your life.
In my life?
Was there any question?
Yes, there was one question that changed my life. It was in a classical business seminar. I thought it was a classical. I was on the summit of my success. I was a really strong marketing sales manager. I'm proud and drunken and so on, as I told you before. And I was asked from this one mentor, Wolfgang Stammteiner. He asked me, Tom, remember and tell me about one situation in your life where you really felt loved. And I was crying for, I think, 3 hours after this question, because I found out through this one question that I was living a life, an empty life, full of success, business success. And this question touched me into my heart, direct. So it was the most important question in my life, I think. And I found one story. It was remembering my grandmother. These were the moments when I was with her and when she helped me, and I just was there for sleeping and just for being loved. This was, but there were many, many things I did not feel like this. This is what I recognized out of this question. Yeah. We have 4 major feelings, every one of us. Everyone, if you live in Africa, in Japan or in Europe, everyone has 4 major feelings, and we have to understand the sense of them. And if we understand it, we can find a new way of decision. One of the 4 feelings is fear. Understand what the sense of fear is. The sense of fear is attention. It means take care. Something, you're in a situation where maybe you never have been in before. Just be careful, look at it, and decide what you should do. It does not mean stop. It does not mean at once run away, but just attention. And decide what you should do. Maybe you should learn something, maybe you should not do it, or maybe you should run straight into it, but just look at it. Attention. Second feeling is pain. If you feel pain, you should recognize that it means stop it. Pain is a sign for something is too near to me, or someone broke my borders. It's something that should be stopped at once, and it means start to heal it. So heal it. Yeah? Pain means stop and heal it. The third feeling is anger. We were told so many times, don't be angry, be quiet, smile. No! Anger is like this button you press if you see the pilot, this Schleudersitz, what's it in English? This exit, last exit. Go out of it! Try to go out of a very dangerous situation without anger. Just go out of it. It's the last exit, the last chance before you come into a very big problem. Anger is so useful. Anger is so important. And please be angry. If there's something happening you should not accept, because it drives you direct into a catastrophe. These were three feelings of reaction. Feelings you have to react if it happens to you. Anger, fear, pain. And there is a fourth feeling. This is a very special feeling because it's an active feeling. You have to feed it. And this is joy. And joy feeds out of, I would say, out of 7 channels. It's a joy. Joy shows you the right way. It says, yes, go this direction. You feel joy, go this way. And the 7 channels feeding the joy are also very easy. This is spirituality, like something that you know the sense of something. It feeds me with joy. Wishing, dreaming, believe your visions. It fills you with joy. Also clearness, orientation. If you know what happens, it makes you happy. Yes. Love, relationships is a source of joy. Yes. Also group power, like we are together, we are one team. Just being not alone, but being in a group, it is joy. Yes. And also competence is also joy. If you are able to do something very good as a professional way, it's joy. And the 7th power is existential. If you have enough to eat, if you are strong, if you are selbstbewusst, means
self-confidence.
Self-confidence. Yes. So this makes me feel joy. These are the 4 feelings: anger, fear, and pain. You have to learn that they are the best friends because they help you in orientating and they lead you, and joy. And together, you need all of them. People ask me, and this is the final thing I want to say, and people say, oh yes, 3 negative feelings and just 1 positive. This is the mistake. They are not negative. They are best friends because they protect us, because they save us, because they heal us, yes, and joy is not more and not less positive than the other 3. So, and this is why this CD is called Joy, Freude.
Then it will be released.
It's
already your second. Which one is it?
This is my first, but it will come in the same release now to the dealers. Mein Herz brennt means my heart is burning. Yours too, I'm sure. And this is the new CD. It will come together with a book called Alles in die größte Kraft. Go into your biggest power. And it's on the 25th of October. We have the official release. And this is an unofficial CD. It's not here now because it's secret.
Your dream works, though.
Yes, our dream works.